What's up, my crew members? My name is Andrew from the Superhero Crew, and we got another comic book review this week. I talked about this in my haul. I'm pretty excited for this book. I've dropped a couple series just so I can start reading this, and I've ended some series and mini-series, and so a lot of different books ended in 2019, but finally, one of the new number ones that are coming out from Marvel is Thor #1, so we are going to be talking about it right here. But if this... Holy crap, is that Coach? Look at this, a special guest appearance by the one, the only Coach. But we're both going to be reviewing Thor #1. But if this is your first time here, why don't you consider subscribing to the channel for more videos like this? We got comic book reviews every week. We have the comic book hauls every week for New Comic Book Day. And we have the Superhero Crew podcast also. And we got some Lego videos coming out, so stay tuned for all that good stuff. But anyway, let's talk Thor #1. Thor is one of your favorite characters, right? So you got Daredevil and Thor. Are they pretty much on the same level of favorite characters?
Number two.
Thor's number two? Okay. So what did you read back in the day with Thor? What made you like Thor?
I liked when, back in the 80s, was Simonson.
Mm-hmm.
It was Simonson, Walt and his wife she was the writer, he was the artist, and that was the whole, where he had to wear the armor, and then he had the mask because Hela scratched him, Beta Ray Bill, all that classic stuff. So that's what kind of made me do Thor, even though John Romita Jr. was destroying Daredevil. Thor got me through it.
Yeah. So Jason Aaron has been doing his whole Thor run for the last 10 years, and it finally ended with War of the Realms and kind of King Thor, that 4-issue miniseries. But now Donny Cates is picking up the mantle of writing Thor for God knows how long. So, well, before we talk about our opinions, I'll explain what happens in it. So, in War of the Realms, Thor lost his eye and Thor lost one of his arms. And on the cover, you see that he's got both of those back. So we're kind of like, okay, he's got a different costume.
Well, on the
What's
cover,
going
you don't
on?
see the other arm. It's kind of like behind.
Yeah, so you're kind of trying to, you're like, okay, he's got a different costume, what's going on? Basically, Thor is almost retired from the Avengers, I guess, if that's what you want to consider
because
it.
he has to, because Odin's gone, so now he's the king.
Yes, exactly.
Asgard.
So, he's basically like, he's kind of like, how do I explain it? Like, iffy about being king. Like,
well, he
he's,
never wanted to be
yeah,
king.
exactly, exactly. He doesn't want to be the king, but he kind of has to be. And the best thing in this book, one of the best things in this book, is that just a 2-page splash of Galactus falling on top of Asgard, on top of a bunch of people. And I turned the page, I was like, oh my god, this is probably the best book of the week. Just because of that. That's just so cool. So Thor basically goes to attack Galactus, but Galactus is like, no, you gotta stop because this thing is coming. The Great Black Winter is coming. And he's like, oh god. So Thor gets all of Galactus's heralds together, and Silver Surfer comes, and he's like, all right, listen, just we're gonna go, and we're gonna help Galactus just fight this Black Winter thing that may or may not go away, essentially. And he's like, okay, so we're gonna get our stuff together, we're gonna go, and we're gonna try to stop what's going on. And Silver Surfer is like dark. He's black because I guess whatever happened in that Silver Surfer Black book, which is also written by Donny Cates, which I was annoyed that they even put Null, the god of the symbiotes, in it, because I'm like, you're putting symbiotes in one of these stupid cosmic books. I don't understand. Galactus has no arm, also, and basically what Galactus does is he imbues Thor with the power cosmic, and he becomes the Herald of Thunder.
He gets his arm back.
And he gets his arm back and his eye.
When I was reading it, I said, you think they're ever going to give him back the arm and the eye, because he's had that armor on for whatever, and so there you go.
This is what the costume is. I don't like the costume too much. It's very weird. It looks very 90s-ish. But then again, the whole thing behind it is pretty cool. What did you think about it?
It was good. It was like 3 twists.
Yeah.
Which was good. The whole Galactus thing, and then now he's like the Herald of Thunder, which we don't know if he's going to be a Herald of Galactus, or does he just have the power cosmic as Thor. But something like he said that he came to Asgard because he saw at his death was Thor.
Yeah.
So,
So something's going to unfold. I'm sure that this, because it's written by Donny Cates, I'm sure it's going to be a whole big Thor thing, that they're going to be changing Thor for the better or whatever. That's going to be some big saga for Thor.
If he was going to be a king, he was just going to sit on the throne like Odin did, so he wouldn't be going out adventuring and do what he had to do. Now he's got a quest.
Exactly.
So now this is the quest.
Yeah. So whatever's gonna happen, really, I mean, we didn't get too much details of what the Great Winter. I mean, it's something that I think they said it destroyed Galactus's universe before he got the powers, cosmic or whatever.
When he was a
human.
A humanoid.
Yeah.
And then he became Galactus, and it happened again. So this is happening again, and it's scaring Galactus, which is pretty. It's probably pretty bad.
Exactly.
And he's asking for help, which
means that it's probably really bad. But I'm interested to see what's going on with this. Do you think that we should get number 2?
Well, it's one of those books like you read it. All right, what's going on? Let's get number 2.
Right, exactly.
That's how you know it's a good book. If you don't really care about it, then that's my gauge. Like, do I really want to know what happens, and do I really want to keep reading it? That to me tells me it's a good book. So this is like set up 3 different scenarios, and then now we really went off kilter. So let's see what happens.
Yeah, and the art in this is phenomenal. The writing in this is really good. Donny Cates is a great writer. Just when he puts the symbiotes in it, it's just a little annoying, but
I think that's a Marvel thing, not a conscious story.
I don't know, because I notice a lot of things that Donny Cates is writing the Venom book, and he wrote Absolute Carnage, so it's like, he's writing Guardians of the Galaxy, which I wasn't reading, but he wrote Silver Surfer Black, and I'm like, okay, you're putting the symbiotes into that book, and Null, the god of the symbiotes, was in that. It's just getting a little out of hand with these stupid symbiotes, and I just hate them with a burning passion. But anyway, that's Thor number 1. Pretty solid, definitely getting the 2nd issue. And stay tuned for the Superhero Crew podcast, because you'll hear our opinions of the rest of the series in the Superhero Crew podcast. But that's it, guys. If you guys like the video, why don't you give this video a like? You're gonna have to watch out, because the end screen is gonna pop up over here. So yeah, it's gonna be right here. But anyway, guys, so check out the other videos we have here posted on the channel right here with YouTube Magic, and like the video, subscribe if you're new, and that's pretty much it. So we'll see you in the next one.